Hello, dear friends. Welcome to another study of the Spiritist magazine every Tuesday at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We're together reviewing one of the articles of one of the issues of the Spiritist magazine. The newest issue is issue 67, and today we will be talking about an most beautiful article that is titled Forward Always by the Spirit Mary, servant of God, Mother Mary. And this message is through the medium Euripedes Barsanulfo. Don't forget to visit spiritistmagazine.org to send us an email at spiritistmagazine@gmail.com. Leave a comment, forward this to someone, share, like, subscribe, follow, and all those things that increase the ability of us spreading the good news of Christ in these most difficult times on the earth. And who does not need today, dear friends, to listen and study this beautiful message from the Spirit Mary. Here is the screenshot. If you're watching this, if you're not watching this, I'm describing is the PDF version of the magazine. The cover to the left, the little thumbnails that allowed you to browse through the different articles for these teachings. And today you're going to scroll down to page 24, which is halfway down the magazine, where you're going to find this beautiful message titled Forward Always. Dear friends, we are living in a world of trials and expiations. We're living in a moment of planetary transition. So it's very important that we today can sit here and have this discussion on how we can move and progress forward. I'm going to make this screen a little larger so we can, as always, very simple, you can use this content at your home, at your Spiritist center. And as you can see here, Forward Always is the title. Mary, servant of God, is the Spirit, and the medium is Euripedes Barsanulfo. And I'm going to remove the thumbnails. Very easy. If you want to study at your Spiritist center, don't forget to download the app. Don't forget to download the PDF version of the magazine, or if you wish, you can also get to purchase the printed version of the magazine, the paper version of the magazine. Needed to be a little tiny big. Okay. So she, Mary, servant of God, starts. She says, I would like to extend my greeting to you. This is us, my brothers and sisters. I would be delighted to see you fraternally always gathered as now, discussing spiritually elevated issues. It is beautiful to see our cohesive thoughts burst forth from the infinite space like a flame of singular fire, and see you seek them out, attracting us to your company. What a beautiful description of what it is to come together in the name of Christ. Where two of you are gathered together here, there I will be, she says. She's delighted to see us gather, discussing spiritually elevated issues. The good spirits are always happy to see us when we gather to discuss things of elevated nature. When you go to your Spiritist center, when people are at church, at synagogue, at the mosque, whatever they are, at the Buddhist temple, right? If they are together in spiritual elevated issues, the good spirits are there and delighted to see us. And that's why it's so important to have this work in our lives. We need to be courageous, to make time to sacrifice. And she says, The cohesive thoughts burst forth from the infinite space like a flame, and we see you seek them out. So here we are, bursting our thoughts into the universe, the thoughts of the good spirits bursting out, and we're seeking that elevated thought in order to help us in our daily living. This is what happened to me now, and that's what Mary says. I was far away from you when the fire of your thoughts fell upon me. So remember, thought is life, my Emmanuel. We're constantly sending these thoughts, and we want to think of what thoughts are we sending and who is it reaching. In this case, those who are gathered were reaching for Mother Mary. She says, here I am, my friend, to tell you that I have already advanced and conquered a considerable stretch of road that brings you the superb landscapes that God reserves to dazzle you, to incite you to walk always towards his august bosom. So she's disclosing to us she is an elevated plane and planet, right? So she has advanced and conquered a considerable stretch, and she's reached the superb landscapes. God is reserving them for when we are ready. And dear friends, God didn't pick Mary and say, hey, you're special, lucky one, and put her there. It was conquered, meaning it was earned. Actions and consequences. Every day when we choose the touchstone of Christ's teachings and move on, we are conquering one step in that ladder towards this superb landscapes. And God has these landscapes and dazzles us, inciting us to always go towards Him or towards God, right? So there is this idea in our minds of a promised land, an idea of heaven, and those are the superb landscapes that we are incited, enticed to pursue through good works, works in the good with others in the communities and spaces that you are. So when you gather together with your Spiritist center, if you don't have one, gather together at your home with your family. If your family doesn't want to participate, do it alone because the spirits are there with you. And then when we seek to join our thoughts in goodness, discussing spiritually elevated issues, they come to help us. Now, in counterpart, if we choose to discuss spiritually inferior issues, or if you're dwelling in bellicose thoughts, meaning war, conquering, as in I'm going to kill, hurt others, incite evil, then spirits of an inferior nature comes to stay with us as well, as in the gospel according to Spiritism, as well as in the Spirit's book. Sympathetic spirits and obsessors like what we like. You know, if you like bellicose, fighting, and anger, then you're connecting with those spirits. But if we're dealing with spiritual elevated issues, working in the good, the superior spirits help us. She says, however, just because you have already walked a little does not mean that you should now stop to look back over the stretch that you have traveled. No, I want to tell you that having much to walk, you must move forward incessantly and resolutely with the sweet hope of one day reaching the end of your ascending journey, which will be sublime if accompanied by the footsteps of the divine Nazarene. She says perhaps we move forward, but we shouldn't be too focused on the past. Looking back, she says, keep going. There's more work to do. There's so much work we need to do in this planet, dear friends. She says, forward then. Remember, the title is forward always. Always moving. In nature, everything is always moving. The birds don't stay on the tree the whole day because there's no movement. If you don't move much, your muscles atrophy. If the water becomes stagnant, then bacteria and viruses grow in there, it becomes murky, always in movement, right? We're always renewing ourselves. Nature is renewing itself. Walkers of the present, you'll be the pleasures of the ineffable tranquility of the future, to march, to advance always. Such is the wise law of God. Love, progress. Run then, in order to quickly reach the heights of light. Inactivity, inertia only proves retrogression. Avoid it then. So she's saying, don't stay stagnant. You did something, there are consequences to what you did. Perhaps it's a mistake, perhaps it's a reparation, expiation, but keeps moving. We go make amends. She says, always be attentive and vigilant on the path of good and love. Give much in order to receive much. Love humbly in order to be loved. Be good, gentle, indulgent towards your brothers and sisters, so that God too may be good and indulgent towards you. She's saying, do the good, do the good, do the good. What else do we do? She says, flee from evil and vehemently embrace the good. How do we flee from evil? We don't gossip, we don't make comments, we see the good in people, we don't hurt, we don't do actions that we know knowingly will hurt someone. The time has come when those who have not succeeded in this procedure tend to experience harsh reversals. Among you is the great messenger of Jesus, the Spirit of truth. Pay attention. Listen to his voice. Open your hearts to his transcendental teachings. Do not imitate in any way your brothers and ancestors who, even though they had the light, the life, the resurrection, Jesus, and did not believe in him. So, friends, she's saying, move forward and transcend the old you. In the past, when Jesus came, some still didn't see him as the Messiah. They had him, right? And now, today, we are given another opportunity over 2,000 years that we had 2,000 years ago. And she's saying, pay attention. He's talking to us. Let's open our hearts to his teachings, his beautiful teachings of love and compassion towards one another. You do not need to say that by this description you had to suffer much. The messengers of the Lord call you to spiritual communion. Hear their appeal. Unite and guided by a single desire. Raise your eyes to heaven and give thanks to God for the mercy he still had for us, sending us his new instructor, this new Savior. So she's saying it's time, friends, that we listen to the call of the Christ. We think in this, we're following, right? We think we're so advanced, but we are really following the patterns and structures of the past. When we followed royalty, and today we follow celebrities. When we dress a certain way because someone did this, or we travel to places because that's the cool thing to do. When we curate our lives to Instagram, forgetting that that can cause hurts to others, and that's just a sliver of what's happening. When everything conspire to get your attention, to take your resources, to have you want more and more and more, never having satisfaction, we are called to see that we need to sacrifice. We need to learn the teachings of Jesus, and we need to put those teachings into actions in our lives. That includes sacrificing our time to study, to gather in our Spiritist centers, to see the good in others, in ourselves, not just disguised in the veil of my family, me, 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 me. Yes, and the Bible says you need to care for your family first, or you're worse than an unbeliever. However, when I just focus on myself and how many stamps I have, how many countries I can visit, what clothes I have, how big of a house I can get, or which car I drive, I'm just staying in the lower elevation issues. Mary, the mother of Christ, through Euripedes Barsanulfo, is telling us, God, my brothers, may take you these truths understood, and may you one day gracefully be praised for such important gifts. God sent us his Son. We are all children of God, but he sent this pure Christ Spirit to teach us what it is to be a human on the earth. May he open your understanding in your heart to the revelation that his messengers bring to you. She says, may you all better understand, serve, and love him. She's talking about Christ, right? In these moments here in the US, October, November, coming up on an election, transition of peacefully transitioning power, we need to pray that Christ will continue to love us and send his messengers to care for the brain of the country, as disclosed in the book Brazil, Heart of the World, Land of the Gospel, right? The United States, this beautiful proposition of democracy, is here doing beautiful things to lead the world in so many ways, including the ability that I have today of free speech and free practice of religion to come to you, the Spiritist teachings, the messages that Mary and many other superior spirits are bringing to us through the Spiritist magazine. His blessings rest, or his blessing rests upon you. May Christ continue to guide the works of all the good Spiritist centers and other religious institutions to focus on helping those who are in need. This message is from the book Euripedes, Medium of Jesus, by Editora Esperança e Caridade, on pages 99 and 100, received on June 7th, 1906. Over 120, almost 120 years ago, right? So here we have beautiful teachings by Mary, and I'm going to leave it. I wish it was in one page. Run in order to quickly reach the heights of light, no inactivity, no inertia. Being attentive and vigilant in the paths of good. Give much, too much, receive. Dear friends, may these blessed teachings reach your heart today. May we all feel the loving presence of Jesus' messengers in our lives. And God willing, I'll be back with you next week with another study of the Spiritist magazine. Until now, stay well, take care of yourself and others, and I truly hope to see you soon. Take care. Bye-bye.